Hi, I'm Jenna Bareilles, and for my laboratory experience, I did kickboxing. And when I first walked into my first kickboxing class, I thought it was just going to be like a class you take at a local gym by your house, where they just had a music playing and you just kind of kick into the beat of the music. But I was totally wrong. Right when I walked in there, my instructor he gave me these punching gloves, like these gloves where you wrap around your hands. He told us we were to get started, and he got these punching hands out, and we'd punch them, and we'd kick the kicking bag. And I've never done anything like that before. Everybody else in my class has already done things karate related. My instructor was a third-degree black belt, and I was just somebody who's never done a class like that before. But I learned a lot from the systematic survey. To beginning with, like kickboxing is just a type of like martial arts. It's like karate, and it incorporates boxing and different kicking maneuvers all together. A lot of the things used in kickboxing included jabs and hooks, where you punch forward and hooks around. And the same thing applies to your feet. You can jab with your feet, where you just kick straight, and you can hook with your feet, where you kick around the boxing bag. And these are the main movements used in kickboxing. In this sport is very hard. I've always done very cardio-inducing workouts, but I didn't realize how hard it was at the end of each class. I was very tired because all you're doing is very active the whole time. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot of self-defense because that's one of the main things kickboxing is. You learn a lot of self-defense as well as get a really good workout in, and I'm thankful I did it. One thing I learned throughout doing this survey was the difference between like scientific journals and popular journals. The coolest thing I saw was that scientific journals they have a lot of like evidence based on what they're presenting in their articles. Like in my article, I saw there's a case study shown of a group of people, and in the end it showed why kickboxing was positively impacted their health and their muscles, and they gave them more power, etc. And throughout the whole experiment, they listed all the control and experimental variables, and they gave other comparison like evidences in order to like highly show that the evidence was factual and reliable. Whereas for like the popular journals, they kind of just threw out the information at you, and they didn't really give a source behind it. And you were just left wondering what the source came from. Like for example, in one of my articles, the girl, she just started stating facts on how kickboxing helps people lose weight by being very aerobic exercise, and in the fact that is true. But if you're looking at it scientifically, how do you know if that's true or not if there's no sourcing behind it? Therefore, I saw that even though most of the articles kind of like elaborate on each other and they helped each other out, the scientific article had more evidence behind it and had enough knowledge to back up what it was saying. So I thought it was cool to compare it, but I also thought it was cool that there's a lot of similarities involved. They're very similar. I also thought it was really cool to learn about how, especially in kickboxing is used for people who have multiple sclerosis because it's like a neurodegenerative disease, and they have motor like functioning errors. And it's through kickboxing that kickboxing helps patients with multiple sclerosis like increasing muscle mass and help them become more coordinated and have better skills to walk around and stuff, because they have a very hard time doing that. And it was a scientific journal that tested that and had very accurate information and described every control and experimental variable. And I believe that that's a very important topic on judging if a source is correct or not, and if it's reliable, especially because if you're just like I was saying about the popular journals, they didn't have that much evidence based upon what their facts were. They just were spitting it out at you. Then again, I thought it was cool to hear because then again, all the journals kind of tie together with the common fact that kickboxing in itself is a very good workout, and overall it does help increase your body mass, and it helps increase coordination, especially balance. And that's why it helps older people. It helps older people who are struggling with movements. If they're doing like light form kickboxing, helps them stay very healthy and helps them with motor skills. That's why it helps with multiple sclerosis. and it's good for all ages. It's a very good workout. I got a lot out of it. I feel like I learned a lot about myself and how to, like, I've never done a self-defense class in my life before. Like I was saying earlier, I walked into something unknown, and it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. My instructor was very nice and caring, and everybody around me was very interested in kickboxing. They have been their whole life. So yeah, that was what my laboratory experience was. I learned a lot about the different type of journals and how you critically review them. I learned about what it's like taking a class I've never taken before and keeping myself healthy through other means besides what I've done in the past, which is really cool. It's opening my eyes to the different things you can do to keep yourself healthy. Like, I don't just have to run. I can go to kickboxing. I can go to cycling. I can do so much more to that, and there's so much more behind health and how to stay healthy. And I think that was very cool to learn that it's not just one thing. It's not just, kickboxing doesn't just keep you like physically healthy, it keeps you mentally healthy by releasing endorphins, just as every other workout does. I thought that was very cool to learn, and I want to continue trying new different workouts to help me during college, because college is just a stressful time. But overall, it's been a really cool experience, and I've learned a lot about looking at any sources now. Now I'm very keen to looking at sources online and making sure that they have a backed sourcing for what they're arguing for, and that there's a good comparative measure to it, so I can see two things side by side rather than just getting projected the information, and that there's a lot to offer in life and to stay healthy. Thank you.